This is an amazing little story about an unbeliever and a believer. I'm going to be coming in the Bible with Moses and his father-in-law, Jethro. But I think the big picture about this is it's important for us to tell our testimony. In the beginning of this journey, I always wondered why I needed to be here. Why did I need to come to social media? Why did I have the urge to be here? Because eventually it became known to me that I couldn't just continue to be a hearer. I needed to be a doer. And just like Moses explained to Jethro, like what God was doing for him and the Israelites and what God is rescuing them from, and just all these amazing things that God is doing. These are the same things that we are supposed to be doing. And just a little backstory. So Jethro lives in the land of Midian, which obviously was known to worship Baal and maybe some other deities. And what allows me to know this is because when Moses was doing something, worshiping and talking to God, Jethro said, "What is this that you're doing for the people?" So he didn't understand who our God was. But I'm going to read this part right here. That's just so amazing, and why it is important for us believers to tell our testimonies and what we know in our relationship that is truth about God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, because it rubs off on people. Okay, so Moses was recounting all of the things that the Lord has done for him and rescuing them from the Egyptians and all the hardships that confronted them and what God did to rescue them. And like I said, Jethro is a man that doesn't know who their God is, but listen to what he said. Jethro rejoiced over all the good things that the Lord had done for Israel when he rescued them from the power of the Egyptians. You may not think that what you have to say, your testimony, is not important. There is someone out there ready to rejoice over what your story is able to do for them and in their life. We don't know who we can help. That's why it's important to just be here and tell what God is doing in your life. Moses didn't sit here and think like, should I think about what I should tell Jethro, and if he believes me and I'll wait on how he feels about what I'm going to tell him. No, he told him. And Jethro rejoiced over all the good things. Someone is out there ready to rejoice over what you have to tell them. We need to be here. These testimonies are important about what God is doing in our life. Jethro rejoiced over what the Lord had done for Israel when he rescued them from the power of the Egyptians. And not only that, he blesses God. "Blessed be the Lord," Jethro exclaimed, "who rescued them from the power of Egypt and from the power of Pharaoh." Like, everything that we are as believers rubs off on people. Like, be here, show up, live in your purpose for the will of God itself. Now, I know that the Lord he even says, "Now that I know the Lord is greater than all gods." That's another thing that lets me know that he didn't worship their God. But look at what he does. Like, our God is so powerful. And as he lives through us, it really shows in things that we do, how we live, and everything about who we are as believers. It shows. Like, don't live in your mindset, leaning on your understanding, being afraid to speak about what the Lord is doing. Just go do it. Just like Moses did. He didn't know that this was going to have the reaction that it did for Jethro. But it just opens our eyes to realize that we as believers can change people's lives. And although they may not even say it to you, they will take it back with them to their journey. I love this part right here. It says, Moses let his father-in-law go and he journeyed back to his own land. So what we do, people may not understand everything right now, but what they can do is take the information and these amazing testimonies with them, take it back to their land, and this will sit and play in their mind, and they'll hear it more, And I just love this. And we just need to open our eyes to realize that what God has put inside of us, our desires, our testimonies, everything about who we are with the Lord, it needs to be shared. And this is how his children are going to be saved and rescued and know who Jesus is and realize that they have salvation. They can be rescued just like Moses and the Israelites were rescued. And he was so ready to share this with his father-in-law. Every day I come on here, I am so ready to share with you all what God is doing in my life, what Jesus is doing in my life, what the Holy Spirit is doing in my life. Like, this is my life now. This is all I know. Like, I've had strong faith build up over my journey, and this is all I know now. Let this be all you know. Let you have courage today. God, strengthen your people. Have courage to go share your testimony today. And don't think about, how can I do this or how can I do that? Just have faith. For we walk by faith, not by sight. We need to believe in what our spirit is telling us and not what we see on the outside of that, because you're holding back something great that someone else needs. Let them rejoice over our God. Let them rejoice over who we know, so that we can continue to live within this mission, which is the biggest mission, and it's the will of the Father to keep a kingdom mindset to save his people. Let that be something you think about today. Maybe you have not shared your testimony yet because you're afraid. Well, come on, open on up to Exodus 18 and read verses 1 to 27. Let this story about Moses sharing his testimony with a man who didn't believe in their God be a great example for you today to go out there and share what might save someone's life. It'll be worth it. Jethro rejoiced and blessed God. What you have to say as a believer to an unbeliever, may they rejoice today and know our God. May peace be with you.